Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, March for Our Lives rally held across New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
For more than a century, St. Mary's Bank has been putting New Hampshire families first. As the nation's first credit union, our values haven't changed, but the times have. From mortgages and auto loans to mobile banking solutions, we deliver all the services and technologies you need for the way you live today.
Students and parents that I spoke with say that they were overwhelmed and inspired by the outpouring of support, and they hope that it empowers others to come forward and try to make some change.
Save kids, not guns! Save kids, not guns!
It was the kids speaking out Saturday in Nashua, marching from school to City Hall, sending a clear message.
The fear of being shot is not something any student, parent, or faculty member should ever have to worry about in a place that's supposed to be a safe haven.
Students from Nashua high schools took to the microphone demanding changes in gun laws and expressing deep concerns.
What about the pursuit of happiness? How am I supposed to go about my life trying to be happy if the thought of someone coming into my classroom and killing me takes up more space in my brain than the physics or AP government that I'm supposed to be focusing on as a senior?
Students took the lead, supported by state and local lawmakers, teachers, and parents.
I think about it. Where are they? Are they safe on the bus? In a snowstorm? Now I have to think, are they safe at school?
This is about common sense gun safety. There's huge support for it across generations, and what I'm here to do today is just to support the students.
The event mirrored others held throughout the state.
There's just not enough going on right now, especially in Washington. I should be worrying about my SATs that I took, and now I'm wondering where I need to hide in case of an active shooter, and I just think it should be now rather than later.
Students, we are the generation of change. Let's bring this American dream back to Americans.
As the rally was going on, protesters could be heard driving by, shouting comments from their cars. But the participants here were unfazed, only speaking louder, hoping that their voices are heard. Reporting in Nashua, Heather Hamill, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. This movement was always here. Thousands participants in Boston's March for Our Lives. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
The Boston marchers left Roxbury locked arm in arm with signs and slogans denouncing gun violence and with a question, am I next?
I really don't want to die while trying to finish my math project.
At the head of the march, a survivor of last month's school shooting in Parkland, Florida.
My friends died. I went to 17 funerals.
Lenore Munoz says she wanted to march in Boston to be with her sister, who attends Northeastern, and to vent her frustration.
I'm angry because none of us had to die. Not in Parkland, not in Roxbury, not anywhere. We don't have to die. There are no acceptable deaths, and our deaths are unnecessary.
As marchers came down Tremont Street and then onto Columbus Ave, they called for tougher gun control laws, both here and across the nation.
I think more gun legislation, more background checks. I don't think that anyone needs to own an assault weapon.
Time for change! Time for change!
Organizers reserved the front of the march for people under 25 years old. But behind them, thousands of parents, teachers, and politicians encouraged that many of these young marchers will soon be voters.
And I think that politicians who continue to vote for the NRA better beware. I think there's something very powerful coming their way in November of this year.
In fact, at the end of today's rally, there was a line of students and marchers who were here to register to vote.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Group projects message onto Maine's State House, pushes for gun reform. A social activist group projected their message onto Maine's State House Saturday night. The group, named Men Art, reformed to the images as electric graffiti. A group member told WMTW News 8 that the group wanted to stand in solidarity with gun violence rallies all over the country Saturday as part of a national movement, March for Our Lives. And here is that image. March for Our Lives. Organizers pulled off revolution in Washington. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
Allergy muddlers, are you one sneeze away from being voted out of the carpool? Try Zyrtec. It starts working hard at hour 1 and works twice as hard when you take it again the next day. Stick with Zyrtec and muddle no more.
And I have one more request. Today is March 24th, March for Our Lives, but it is also the birthday of Nick Duarte, someone that I was senselessly murdered in front of me. Today is his birthday. I would like to sing together, Happy Birthday. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nick. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. Stay beautiful.
Okay, that was video from the March for Our Lives in Washington, D.C. The organizers of March for Our Lives rally managed a nearly impossible feat Saturday. They put on an event in the nation's capital that felt raw, authentic, and pure. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.